Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to TMP Finance, where you make long and short-term investing simple. Let's take a look at our NASDAQ analysis for today. We'll also take a look at some stocks that are breaking out and that you should be keeping an eye out for, and also just talk about where the sectors are and where the market is when it comes to ingredients of a bull trend there. So without further ado, let's get started here. NASDAQ is looking pretty solid. Again, bull trend, and it's going to be a bull trend until it's not, so I'm not expecting it to quit anytime soon. We're in a very, very strong place. Right now we might see a little bit of resistance here at all-time high prices, but even if we do get a pullback all the way down to, back into the range over here that we have stuck at in the later half of 2024, early 2025, we're still going to come right back up and make those all-time highs here. You don't really see the market make a huge double top, or I guess even, let's say, a triple top in this case. That's very rare, especially at all-time highs, and especially when you have such a volatile move to the downside and to the upside in very, very short amount of time with such strength. So as we can see here, the NASDAQ has pulled back, let's see, about 26% from all-time highs. Maybe a little bit more there. Yeah, about 26% there. So it's very, very unlikely that we will get anything that resembles a lower low really in the sequence. So you're staying bullish as long as we're above 20,700 here. And it is not just a great line for resistance here, but we can also see here that this just happens to be also our lower high point. There's a lot of confluence in many aspects, no matter what your trading style is. And that's why I always mention that trading is not like a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. There's going to be lots of different ways for you to trade. I know what works best for me, and that's really all I care about. So that being said, let's take a look into the market here and look for our short-term price action here. Very simple. We got this break above this 21,700 level. As we can see here, this has been a pretty significant resistance level in the past, where we've had a bit of a sellout here and a lot of bouncing around between these lines here. So we finally exited that. We got this fake out, which I expected, and then as soon as we got this breakout here again, that's when I told the Discord, and I actually told you guys too on YouTube, to go ahead, wait till we come back down to this 21,700 support line, which we did about twice or three times now. And from there, you're looking for that, kind of call it all-time high price target above here at 22,100. And that's exactly what we're doing. The trade's going very, very well for us, and we're currently up, let's see here, we're currently up about not 9% when it comes to after our leverage factor. So at the end of this trade, this is going to be a very, very juicy trade, 1.78 times 9. So you do the math, that's a juicy percentage that we can definitely add on to the rest of our wins here. But very simple, I am expecting all-time highs very, very soon. Even if we do chop around this area, we will receive some very nice all-time highs. Let's take a look at some of the other sectors within NASDAQ here and see where the market is in agreement with. So over here, this is XLK. It is the technology fund or technology sector fund from Vanguard. And these include stocks like Microsoft, it includes stocks like nvidia, Apple. And right over here, we're at a very key resistance level over here. And I will draw that momentarily. Let's draw it right here. Very, very simple. If we definitely do get a break above this 241, not only is this a great time to buy this fund specifically, but also look for your individual stocks. I'm not really crazy about buying when it comes to like individual sectors. I'm not really crazy on buying individual sectors ETFs. I'd rather buy individual stocks because I get a better return there. And I feel like NASDAQ, especially if you're investing for technology, is really all you need. But I just like to show here that we are at a key resistance here. So if we do receive a bit of chopping around the NASDAQ and S&P, you know why. As long as we get this crossover, and again, tech is mainly what the NASDAQ is weighted in, we will definitely get a nice move to the upside there. We'll take a look at XLC here, which is going to be communications, which is stocks kind of like Meta, Google, Netflix. So think about social media, that kind of stuff. And again, we are at a key resistance over here as well. And I'll just draw this line very simple. Again, when it comes to support and resistance, it's not exactly a line, it's a range. But the best way I can show this is with a line here. So again, very, very close to resistance here. If we do get a break here, you're looking very, very simple. You're looking for a break, retest, and then from there all-time highs. Especially when it comes to massive levels like this, like previous all-time highs, that's definitely going to get some very nice retests there. And even if we don't retest right now, you will definitely see a retest of that later on in the future, maybe even a year or two from now. So definitely keep your eye out for XLC here. Let's take a look at XLRE, and XLRE is going to be it's going to be your real estate funds. So you're looking at stocks that's like American Tower Corp, or you can also include stocks like Prologis, And from here, it's very, very nice to see that we have this very nice downtrend over here. XLRE in real estate has been lacking for the past couple of years now. But I am liking to see that, you know, we came back all the way down to like, these are prices that we were seeing back in 2019, right? But it looks like we were about to break resistance here. So stocks like, again, PLD, like AMT, you are looking to buy, and I will show you the charts for them real quick. Prologis over here, and again, very, very close to resistance, not there quite yet, but you are keeping an eye out, and I like to let you know a little bit ahead before it's too late. We do have a pretty obvious bottom here where we swept these lows. We had this kind of, you know, sweep of liquidity, we can call it. This massive move up, showing that buyers are very interested in buying at a cheap level over here, showing that the stock is undervalued. And then from there, very, very soon, you'll see that breakout, and that's when you can move and do a very, very simple trade that looks something like this. Let's say we get a breakout around this level here. You can just have your stop loss right at the lows over here, and then your highs at all-time highs or whatever you prefer, really. But Prologis has been a super, super strong stock. Look at this exponential growth here. Same thing can be seen with AMT over here, American Tower Corp. And you also have this resistance and the support falling down here. I feel like we're a little bit closer to breaking out of resistance for AMT over here. And again, very, very simple. The way that I do all these breakout trades is very simple. I'm just putting my stop loss right at the swing low, taking profits at all-time high or at key levels even like this. Even if I want to look at a level like 270, that's a great psychological level. And there's a lot of volume, a lot of price action that happens around this area. So I imagine there's also going to be a lot of take profits and a lot of orders being placed over there. But something like this, great risk reward ratio, especially in a very tremendous bull market like we're having now, which I expect is going to be very, very strong. For example, if we take a look at the market right here, and we take a look at the Bollinger Bands, we can see that we've actually are breaking above the bands with some strength here for XLK and XLC. I think the other sectors will be following shortly as well. And we can see that that's a very, very good sign that we will get some all-time highs in these indexes as well and in these stocks. So I think that AMT is definitely going to be next up, and same with all these real estate stocks because they've been chopping around for quite a while there. Let's people look at XLB, and this is going to be your materials sector. So this is stocks going to be like Lind, PLC. You're looking at Sherwin-Williams. You're looking at Ecolab. I did get a breakout a couple of weeks ago here, and you know what? It's still not too late because again, this fund here, it seems to be ever growing. You can zoom out and see that we are getting somewhat of exponential growth over here. Actually, it's looking pretty solid there. Again, 2009, you had the recession there, but this breakout here, I definitely do expect to receive some all-time highs, especially the fact that we've been chopping around here for about half a decade. I definitely expect to leave this price range very, very soon, and I think 2025 will be the year that we do that. So again, take a look at stocks such as Lynn PLC, Sherwin-Williams, and I think that is going to be great contenders for some trades there as well. And that's just, you know, because the market for tech and for communications is so high, I'm just showing you these stocks here and these ETFs to diversify, and also these stocks to diversify your funds. And there's always going to be a bull market in a sense that there's always stocks breaking out. So it's just keeping an eye out and looking at the market as a whole, and not just the hype stocks like your Apple, like your Google, like nvidia, that kind of thing. So again, diversifying your portfolio is going to be great as well. Even if you are a day trader, you're going to find a lot of trades like that. So people look at Apple over here. Apple's been slacking, but you know what? I'm going to cut it some slack here because it is still making higher lows, which is nice to see. So if we did break this low over here, that's what I'm looking to take risk off of Apple, or at least holding cash. But if we do receive a break of this resistance line, which I think will be very, very soon, that's when you're looking to buy it. So I think if we do break above 205, that's when you're looking to go long for Apple. And it's a very, very nice trade once we do so. Let's say we break above 205 over here. You can keep our stop loss right up below here, let's say at the break there, or even if you want to keep it a little safer, right behind this very obvious swing low here, and then take profits all-time highs. Again, when it comes to big stocks like this, people are a little bit wary of them, and especially Apple and Google, people have been a little bit fearful of. But I'm going to ask you think this is the last all-time high? And if your answer is no, then you're placing that trade for all-time highs or even new all-time highs. But let's just say all-time highs to keep it safe, and that's still a great risk-reward ratio there. Let's take a look at another stock here, ASML. ASML is definitely one that's been on my radar for a little while here, and we finally got a break above this very key resistance line over here at about $780 a share. And as we see here, ASML has had a bit of difficulty here. You have, a lot of volume around this area, a lot of touches here too. You have a lot of resistance touches as well, a gap that was formed in this area that got filled, and a lot of touches here, but we finally broke above that. So very, very simple. Your stop loss is at the swing low here, your take profit is at the all-time high. That's a fantastic risk-reward ratio trade as well, 5.27. And let's just zoom out of this chart here. We can see this is an expensive stock, but for good reason. That's not a bad thing. Let's take a look at the growth here. Back in 2020, let's see here, 2020, we were at about $200 a share, and right now we're about 4 times that. So I think there's a lot of growth coming from ASML, and this is going to be doing, this is going to be in that kind of tech communication space there. They work on a lot of chips, they work on a lot of semiconductors, that kind of stuff. So I think there's a lot of growth, as well as, when you see the NASDAQ 100 rising up from stocks like nvidia, and then you see all these other stocks like, for example, AMD that broke out recently. I definitely think that ASML will definitely take its share, and I think it will definitely move up with it. So very easy risk reward trade. Worst case scenario, you miss out, or worst case scenario, you take a very small loss over here compared to your upside there. So manage your risk properly and only place trades that really feel comfortable to you. In 2025, we have been absolutely crushing the market over at the TMP Discord community, and we are currently up in this trade for Google, and this is just one of the many trades we've taken. We're currently up a decent amount here, 5.25% after our 3 times leverage for stocks. We're currently up about 17% or 16%, and that is absolutely fantastic. A lot of upside to Google, so I believe that once we're done this trade over here, we will be looking at about 66% to the upside there. We've been placing huge trades of even those kind of numbers for the past year here. We're currently up 159.96% just for our NASDAQ trades alone. All of our stock trades have won, and we've only had a couple losing trades, but we made the money right back within about a week on those same securities there. So if you are interested in getting all the information and all the secret sauce, I'm talking about all the trade alerts I take profit levels, stop loss levels, come take a look at that link in the description, because you're going to get a lot of very helpful information. But that's going to be a wrap for today. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see y'all later. Peace out, y'all.